We live? Hi, Facebook live stream viewers. We are very excited to have you with us today. It's the holidays, and I wish you could see the man behind the camera because my sound engineer, Todd, he's going to be in front of the camera now. Do you love this? Unfortunately, he took off his mother's sweater, which he was wearing for the ugly sweater contest we're having here today. But that was really wonderful. Anyway, we're in the holiday spirit, and we're very happy to have you with us. We're actually going to be talking about avoiding the holiday blues today, and Cheri Blair will be joining us to talk about avoiding holiday overspending. So please stay with us. We're about to start Change It Up Radio with Paula Shaw. And remember, you're backstage. You're seeing us record the show, so it won't be an absolutely perfect video production. All right, stay with us. Hey, Todd, what if I move this so they can see that book cover a little bit better? Oh, there we go. Yeah, and then let's take this one and not have it totally on there. How about we do that? How's that look? Can you guys see that now? We're just checking to see if you can see the covers of my books, which we have down here. Yeah, okay, good. All right. Here we go. Quick sip of water. All right. We're ready now. It's for real. Welcome to Change It Up Radio with Paula Shaw. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. You know, it's the holidays, and we're going to be talking about avoiding the holiday blues because there are a lot of people who are going through tough times right now, and somehow tough times always seem tougher when everybody else is happy. So stick around. We're going to be talking about that, what you can do if you're someone who's going through tough times for the holidays, or what you can do to help someone who is going through tough times during this holiday season. And we will also be joined in a little bit by the lovely Cheri Blair, our financial advisor and sponsor. And she's going to be giving us some very important tips for avoiding holiday overspending, because that can certainly be a contributor to the holiday blues. All right, so stick around for all of that. And thank you for being with us. As you know, this is Change It Up Radio, and we are a show that's all about change. We like to spotlight change makers out there in the world, people who are trying to make the world a better place. And we also really feel like it's important for us to bring information to you to help make change smoother and more productive. Because, as we all know, change is coming, like it or not. But if we're prepared, or if we have a little bit of knowledge or some tools to help us get through the changes, even the good changes, you know, they cause upheaval in our life. They cause a sense of disorientation. So we need help with change. And that's what we consider our mission right here at Change It Up Radio. Okay, so I want to open today talking about the holiday blues. First of all, remember, I do want to remind everybody that if you want to share this show with other people, or if you want to listen to it again, please check out our website, changeitupradio.com. And if you'd like to learn more about me or about the work I do as a life transitions therapist, or my speaking, or my books, all that information is available on paulashaw.com. So please check out those two websites, paulashaw.com and changeitupradio.com. Okay, You know, years ago, when I was first doing my work as a life transitions therapist, I remember when Christmas time came, there was a woman who I especially loved, and we had done some work together because she was about to face her first Christmas after the death of her son. And any of you who are going through some kind of a loss or something tough right now, I'm sure can imagine that it would be incredibly hard to feel any of what we might call the holiday spirit when you're going through something as painful as that. And I know a lot of you out there are going through tough times right now. We have people who lost their homes in the fires. We have people who are going through flooding, people who've lost jobs. I just heard the other day about a friend of a friend who was just fired from his job 2 weeks before Christmas. You know, there are so many things that are happening. People go through divorce. Yeah, several of my clients are going through divorces right now, and this is the first Christmas since the separation. So life is full of challenge. You know, we all know that. And this time of year can be particularly challenging if you're one of those people that is dealing with a loss or dealing with some kind of tough emotional experience in your life. Why are the holidays a hard time for people who are dealing with these kinds of things? Well, for one thing, they're all about joy, right? And everybody's having parties and people are shopping and singing carols, and it's all about fun and joy. And if you're not in a frame of mind where you're feeling fun or feeling joyful, you just feel even more alone, more isolated, like everybody else is happy except me. It's a really, really tricky time because, let's face it, we all know we're always comparing our insides to other people's outsides. So we don't really know what's going on inside them or if they really are all that holiday happy, but they look happy. And the store windows are all about happy, and the toys are everywhere, and the movies are all about holiday happy. So it can leave a person who isn't in that frame of mind feeling very isolated and alone. So if you know somebody who is dealing with a tough emotional time right now, boy, it's time to step in. You know, this book that I have just released, Saying the Right Thing When You Don't Know What to Say, was really my passion project because for so long I've had people in my practice say to me, nobody came, nobody called, nobody brought it up. I went back to the office and nobody brought it up. That was said to me by a woman who had lost her son. Nobody brought it up. Do you think that's because everybody's that insensitive? I don't. And that's why I wrote this book, because I think the truth is everybody's just scared. They don't know what to say. They don't know what to do. They don't know if they should bring it up. And if she seems to be feeling better, they don't want to make her feel bad. So everybody's tiptoeing around, not knowing what to say and what to do when somebody's hurting, and particularly at this time of year. But let me assure you, anyone who's dealing with a serious loss, whether they look happy in this moment or not, is thinking about it all the time. Your bringing it up is not going to make them feel worse. It might be a huge relief for them because they'll finally have an opening to talk about this giant ache in their heart or this devastating pain they're going through. Because, believe it or not, the person who's dealing with the emotional issue, whether it's grief or it's a divorce or, grief is, of course, what we experience when we go through any loss. But the person going through the loss is also worried. They don't know what to say or do because they don't want to bum everybody out. They don't want to bring up their sad story when everybody looks so holiday happy. So be the one to bring it up first. Be the one to say, hey, how are you doing? I know this might be kind of a tough time for you. Be the one to open that door, because people, I guarantee you, don't tend to do it on their own. Another reason it's tough for people during the holidays is because there's memories. This is a time filled with memories, and those memories may include someone who's no longer in their life. And then, of course, the pain becomes more acute. And another thing that happens at this time of year is there's so much going on. It can be really draining energetically. It can really be overwhelming. And you know how it is. I mean, I know when I have a bad cold, going to the grocery store is an ordeal. But imagine if your heart is broken trying to show up for the office party, or doing the Christmas shopping you have to do, or the holiday preparations that you need to do. Everything is harder when you don't have energy and when you don't have joy. So if you're one of the lucky people this year, if your home was spared during a natural disaster, if you have a job, if your family is healthy, and I have to say, I'm on board with all those things. I'm so grateful that my family, my life this Christmas is in really great shape. You know, there's a lot I have to be grateful for. But at the same time, I, just like all of you who have a lot to be grateful for, we need to have our eyes open. We need to be tuned in to the people around us who are not in that position. We need to be there to give them a hug. We need to make a call and say, hey, how are you doing? We need to be thinking of them, or pick up that little thoughtful gift just to let them know that they're in your heart. So please, everybody, keep in mind that, yes, it's so wonderful that we have all the joy and all the festivity of the holidays, and it's all around us now. But if you're someone, or if you know someone who isn't in that place, do what you can to bring some of that holiday joy, or that holiday love, or that holiday just warmth and caring and comfort to someone that you care about. It can make all the difference in the world for them, especially if they're feeling alone and unseen and unnoticed. Okay, we will be right back after this break, and we've got emails to answer from some of our listeners. We'll be right back. Okay, live stream listeners, we're just going to get ready here to do our emails. I need to put my headsets on so I can hear the Christmas guy in the other room.
Rudolph.
Are you there, Rudolph?
Rudolph is here.
Okay, thank goodness. I'm delighted. All right, give me a second. We'll bring this back. I'm just going to grab a sip of water. Okay. Welcome back to Change It Up Radio with Paula Shaw. In this segment, well, first of all, today we're talking about avoiding the holiday blues. So if you've just joined us, I wanted to let you know that. And we were in the last segment talking about the fact that for a lot of people, it's a tough time of year if they're going through a tough emotional time. So be on the lookout, be aware of the people around you, and offer that comfort, offer that smile or that hug whenever you can. All right, and now my sound engineer, Todd James, is going to be reading some emails that we have received, and we're going to see if we can help some people out there.
Yes, Paula, we received a couple emails. The first one is from Jeannie, and
Okay.
she writes, I really need your help. I'm going through a divorce, and this is the first Christmas that the kids and I will be without my former husband. My son is 14 and my daughter is 11. All they have ever known is dad putting up the lights and the tree and him cooking special pancakes on Christmas morning.
Mm.
We all feel numb and aching at the same time. We don't know how to carry out our traditions without him. It was a shock to all of us when he initiated the divorce. He has fallen in love with someone else who he is apparently having an affair with. I am devastated and exhausted, and I find that I'm dragging myself through the holiday hubbub. I don't want my kids to suffer. Even more so, I'm trying to do all the holiday things that we always do, but quite honestly, I'd like to stay in bed and pull the covers over my head until it's all over.
Yes.
Please tell me what to do, Janine.
Oh, Jeannie, wow.
Jeannie.
This is a really tough situation you're going through because not only are you in pain yourself and going through this devastating loss, but your children are as well. And we all us parents know when our children are hurting, that's even harder than when we're hurting. One of the things I heard you say was you're trying so hard to keep up all of the holiday traditions. But a lot of those traditions involved your husband, who is no longer there, who is no longer part of your holiday activities on a daily basis. One of the things I often suggest to my clients, whether they're dealing with a loss like yours, a divorce, or a death, whatever that loss might be, sometimes it's a really good idea not to try to do all the same things you used to traditionally do. So, like, my suggestion would be don't make the kids pancakes Christmas morning. Do something different. You know, maybe get help with some of the things that he did, like the tree and the lights, of course. But oftentimes, families try to do the same things they've been doing year after year after year. And while we all love our beautiful traditions, when we are without somebody important, whether they died or they've left or they moved away, it doesn't really matter what the cause is. But sometimes it's more painful to try to do those things without them because the contrast of them not being there becomes even more vivid. So this might be a great year, Jeannie, to develop some new family traditions, to come up with some new ideas. You know, maybe instead of Christmas morning being the time when you all gather around the tree, maybe you can do something different. Maybe you all go for a walk together first and enjoy the decorations, or maybe you go out for breakfast and then come back and open presents. Or maybe you rent a cabin in the mountains instead of being at home where you've always been before. Or go visit family in some other place. Mix it up a little bit if you can. You know, I know some families who every year go to see a certain show or watch Miracle on 34th Street on TV, those kinds of things. Maybe this is the year that you choose something different. Maybe don't go to a show. Go see Ice Follies or watch a different movie. So you know what I'm saying? To just kind of change things so it's not so vivid that you're doing those same things without the person that used to be such an important part of those things. And of course, Jeannie, remember to just be there with lots of hugs and time to listen if your children want to talk or if they're feeling sad and missing their dad. I'm sure they'll be spending some kind of time with him, but it's not the same. Everybody's dealing with change. And the other thing I would say to you is try to get as much sleep and eat well, because you are going through a very energy draining time. And this is a time that you really need to prioritize nurturing yourself. Okay, I hope that helps. Do we have another one, Todd?
Yes, we do. We have another email. This one is from Beverly. She writes, I'm hoping you can tell me something that will shake me out of my depression. I have a lot to be grateful for, and yet this time of the year is never very jolly for me. I lost my mother at Christmas time when I was only 12 years old. I don't like the darkness that comes so early at this time of year, and quite honestly, I've never had a memorable Christmas, especially not one that resembles anything like a Currier and Ives or Norman Rockwell painting. If I sound bitter, I guess I am. I'm bitter and sad and disillusioned. Is there anything you can suggest that might help me get through this? I'd love to have a great holiday season, but quite honestly, I don't think it exists, at least not in my world. Well, that's a sad one.
Oh, yes. What is her name, Todd?
Beverly.
Beverly. Okay, Beverly. Wow, several things come to mind when I hear your words. First of all, I think a lot of people, whether they're willing to admit it or not, suffer sadness, depression, disappointment during the holidays. And one of the reasons is because, yeah, it all looks so good in the Norman Rockwell paintings and in the Currier and Ives, paintings of how Christmas is supposed to be. It all looks so happy and joyful and wonderful. And as I was saying in the first segment, if you're not in that frame of mind, you just feel like an outsider. And I think the movies, the stories we've all heard about Christmas, they all set us up to be experiencing this magical, beautiful, amazing time. And it can be magical and beautiful and amazing. But the first thing that I think contributes to that is our frame of mind. And if you're feeling sad and depressed, it's very hard to get into the magic of what's really going on. And you're not really energetically in alignment with the vibration of the joy that the holidays are all about. So one of the things I would suggest to you, Beverly, see if there is a place where you can be of service. Maybe it's an orphanage, or maybe it's helping the homeless. People who are less fortunate than you are really, really challenged at this time of year. And I find that being of service is one of the best ways that we can get out of our own personal pain. Being there for someone who really needs help of some kind. So see if there's a place, Beverly, where you feel good about helping others. And I know you can Google probably people who need help at Christmas time, or contact the Red Cross or some other service agency and ask them, is there work that you can volunteer to help do? I'm telling you, it's like a magic potion. When we get out of ourselves and we go help someone else who isn't as fortunate as we are, boy, that brings us right into that vibration of gratitude. And the vibration of gratitude is one of the highest vibrations there is. So if we can get there now, we're a match for actually experiencing joy and magic and wonderful times. In fact, this very afternoon, I will be joining my Rotary group, and we will be having a Christmas party for underprivileged children. And every year, I'm in charge of the cookie decorating. So we have 200 cookies and countless cans of icing and sprinkles and all of those things. So the children will have, and they're big cookies too, and these children just light up when they come and have an opportunity to have all of this wonderful stuff that they can use to decorate their cookies. And we let them eat one and take one home. And it's truly one of my favorite things to do at this time of year. So, Beverly, I hope you can find something like that, a place or a group of people who are really, really needing you right now. And all to all of us out there, everyone listening, I want to say there's a line that I heard that is so great. And I think it's particularly important at this time of year. And the line is, comparison is the thief of all joy. Comparison is the thief of all joy. Don't compare your Christmas to anybody else's. Don't compare your life to anybody else's. It's yours. And just make it as beautiful as you can. Give yourself a special treat. Take special care of yourself. Make these holidays your happy holidays. We really all have that within our own control. Make it a beautiful holiday season. All right. We'll be right back after this message with Cheri Blair giving us some great tips about how to avoid getting the holiday blues because you've overspent once again. Okay, we'll be right back. Todd? All right. All right, bring her on in. Okay. Oh. Come on in, Miss Cheri Blair. Do you need to do a mic check with her? Okay. Hello.
You're red for Christmas, yeah.
You look holiday beautiful, too. I love that sweater. Oh, no, but you've got the holiday colors working. What do you guys think? Let the Facebook people see you. That is a great, great holiday sweater. Unfortunately, it's not quite as cool as Todd's. Todd, you've got to show. You got to show. Get a load of this, guys. This is Todd's full regalia. And yes, that is his mother's sweater. He is aware it's a woman's sweater. When I first saw him this morning, I was like, hi, Todd. Oh, I see you got your holiday sweater on. And I'm thinking, looks a little like a lady's sweater. I wonder if he knows. Okay. Oops. Yeah, let's get rid of that. I'm good, sweetheart. Good to see you. Oh, Cheri, talk into the mic. He's saying.
How about now, Todd? Can you hear me?
That
I can't hear you.
Sexy
Can you?
little
Could you hear him?
Yeah, he said good. It's good.
Okay.
You're good.
Well, all righty. Just
Okay.
give me a second to breathe
thank
here.
You know what? I
guys and
needed
girls are
a
just-
pen, and I didn't have one. Yep. I had a thought of something I wanted to say, and I was going to write it down, and there was no equipment. All right. There we go. Okay.
Mm-hmm. That kombucha. Get me all fired up.
Atta girl. Oh, thank you, sweetie. All right. Now, can we get this mic so that you can actually be seen?
Oh, okay.
Oh, here, if I do it.
Wow.
Yeah, you know what? It needs to be more there because you're going to be. Yeah. You want to slide over a little bit this way?
Raise this thing up.
Yeah.
Like you are.
There you go.
There I
Now
go.
You're
I'm
a
not
big
so
girl.
See, and that's also better because I can get
Oh,
to
yeah.
the mic better. See?
Yeah, see, I was thinking something does not look right.
Uh-huh.
Now I know what it is. It was you
Okay.
were a small person and you should be a big person.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, look at all your colorful
I got
notes.
some tips here. 5.
Good. All right. Are we ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. Welcome back to Change It Up Radio with Paula Shaw. And joining me this segment, as promised, the beautiful Cheri Blair, our financial advisor and sponsor. And we're talking today, if you've just joined us, about avoiding the holiday blues. And Cheri is going to give us some great tips for how we can avoid overspending and getting the holiday blues around that. Right. But let me first tell you a little bit about this lady. She has been a financial advisor for over 27 years. And what we really love about her here at Change It Up Radio is that she is all about helping women grow beautiful financial futures. She works with men, too, so you guys won't be left out. However, she is passionate about educating women and helping women understand their finances so that they can have their money last longer, and so there'll be more of it, right?
Right. They will not outlive their money. Yeah.
I love that. That's good. So they won't outlive their money. I love that line. So, Miss Cheri, this time of year is infamous for overspending, right?
Right. Yes.
Oh my goodness, there's so much to buy. There's so many people to buy for. There's so much temptation.
Right.
Because sales are happening and all these things are going on. How do we not get sucked in to spending way over our budgets for the holidays? What can we do?
You know what, Paula? I couldn't agree with you more. We are a consumer-laden economy, right?
Uh-huh.
And this is the time of the year that it's just so easy to get caught up in all of it. And we are in full swing right now, full swing. So I want to brighten up the holidays with 5 tips so people will not have to be concerned about going broke in the holidays, right?
I think that sounds really good. All right, Magic Lady, what are those tips?
Okay. Well, first of all, you want to set limits for your holiday spending. And I know that we're already into the holiday spending, and many people might have already done that. But I say give your credit cards and your mind a holiday break.
Give your credit cards a break. That's not a bad idea, because one of the things that occurs to me, Cheri, is your credit card has a big limit on it. So it's hard to limit yourself if you're constantly spending. Is it helpful? I mean, if you're constantly buying with that card, is it helpful to actually use cash?
Sure it is, Paula. That's a very good point. I know that some people will take like cash and make, and put so much cash in envelopes. Like I have 5 brothers, Johnny, Bobby, Eddie, Bruce, and David. So I could take an envelope and put so much in every envelope, like $25, $15, $50, whatever that is, and put that in there. And once that money's gone, that's all I'm going to get for that particular person.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Now, I like the envelope idea, because that keeps track of it for you.
Right.
And you've set your limit. You've already figured out your budget, and now you've got it all organized.
You have much more of a tendency to adhere to that than if you just ran, I like this and I like that, which we all do. I mean, I'm guilty of that too. But one of the things I like to say is, for people that really don't have the funds to buy Christmas presents or a lot of gifts, that I say, how about, I mean, you go to an open house or a potluck and you bring something. Isn't that a lovely thing? I mean, I always enjoy that, as much as I would a present that somebody, a material thing that goes out and buys.
And it's time and effort that someone's put into it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's the love that goes into that. So it's setting budget limits that you can stick to without caving in and using too much credit.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. The second thing I want to say is give of your time. Okay? This is a really great one. So let's say your mother or your father or your grandparents, loved ones, friends, wouldn't they appreciate a quality visit from you? I want to take you to lunch, Paula, and have a quality lunch together, or make arrangements to go visit your grandparent and maybe take some tea or some coffee or something, and have a chat and just have some quality time, one-on-one time. Those are precious.
That's
you're not going to get that back. And
I love that one, Cheri.
I love that idea of giving a smaller gift but big hugs.
Oh, that's good. Boy, you are just hot today.
Yeah.
A small gift but big hugs.
Yeah.
And that's totally in alignment with what we've been talking about.
Right.
Helping people who maybe a little, like grandparents. Sometimes grandparents are feeling a little alone and isolated during the holidays, particularly if their health is not good. So that's a beautiful idea, big hugs, small gifts.
Right.
Love it.
Yeah. So another is to give, I love this one, give an experience.
Yes.
So give an experience. And what does that mean? Okay, I have an example, like a client of mine that's a grandmother, and she had a granddaughter who just loves cooking. You know, she's younger, young girl, but she likes to cook, and she gets in the kitchen. So her grandmother gave her a cooking class and went to it with her.
Oh.
And they had pictures taken, and they still talk about that memory today. So that's an experience. That's an experience.
Beautiful.
I have another one where a friend of mine took her adult daughter to a concert for Christmas.
Yeah.
So, you know, they went and had that experience together. And then I had another one that took her mother for a spa day.
Beautiful.
You know, took her mother to a spa
Did
day.
you hear that, my daughter? Erin, are you listening?
Yeah, so they enjoyed spa together. They were served a luncheon, and they spent the quality time like that together.
And, you know, I think something like that is particularly great for a person who has so many material things already.
Right.
An experience is going to be cherished.
That's right.
You know, where another tchotchke or another sweater or another whatever, you know, is another thing. But an experience, that's magic. That's magical.
That's right, because they say that research shows that money used on shared experience brings more satisfaction and gratification than money spent on material goods. Yeah.
That is beautiful. And well, let's think about that for a second. I mean, people spend thousands of dollars on their vacations.
Absolutely.
Why? They want an experience.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
And that's what we value a lot. I mean, obviously we value stuff too, but we want those experiences. The memories are not made by that sweater or another tchotchke, right?
That's right.
The memories are made by those experiences that we share with people we love.
That's the quality quality that we have, quality that we have. So I have, I have, for the man out there, I have the father, a client that's, he and his son love the cars, racing cars, and like to go, the races and things. So they had an experience where they had the opportunity to go and drive a race car for the afternoon.
I know somebody who did
that. So he took his son, and they both did that. And that was just, they talk about that all the time.
Exactly.
With all the other men, in the family.
And that's huge. And, I think it's important to come up with those kinds of experiences for men, because women, I mean, we're so easy because, hey, a massage, a day at the spa, you don't have to go any further.
Right.
But I know somebody who, what was it she got her husband, and I'm not sure exactly how you do this, but she got him into to spring training. Baseball.
Yes. Oh, that's wonderful.
There's a way you can go and not only see see the games, but
participate. Participate. And how many
men
men do we know that would?
that?
That's good. That would just love that, right? I just love
yes.
that. Let's love that. Obviously for my son, I've given him. He loves the Warriors, and he went to UC up in Northern California, so became a real Warrior fan, Warrior basketball. And so I've given him tickets to the Warrior games. And one year I went up there and went to a game with him.
Oh.
And that was a gift for him.
Yeah, see, and that, I think that's an important piece, too. I love that not just giving the class, like the grandmother, not just giving the cooking class, but going and doing it with them, because now you're sharing the experience, so it's so much more special.
Absolutely.
Oh, I love
Absolutely.
that.
That's a great one. That's
really a good one. And, I think that we're on to something here with this idea of experiences, because I had an email I was answering earlier from a woman who was just feeling depressed and kind of bitter at this time of year, which a lot of people do go through that because,
right.
Hey,
Absolutely.
we've got a lot of people who lost their homes in fires. There
Oh,
are people that are
absolutely.
dealing with floods and terrible
absolutely.
winters already. And when people are going through that kind of thing, imagine how uplifting it would be to have someone come, like what you said, bring special tea or special coffee and some cookies or banana bread or something they made, fudge.
Absolutely.
Oh.
And just spending, it's, that gift of the, like I said, of the quality time. And it's not just what you're giving to somebody else. It's what you receive because you've given that. And that's a lot more satisfying than going out and spending money on something material that, may be forgotten in 6 months.
Totally. And it spares you fighting the crowds at the stores or spending hours online and all the things that you have to do to get that gift.
Right.
So I'm loving that one. And Cheri, when we come back from the break, I know you've got a couple of other tips for us, and I can't wait to hear them. All right, we will be right back with Cheri Blair and holiday tips to avoid overspending. And it sounds like increase your joy for the holidays.
There you go. That's right. Good.
We'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You ready to roll?
Let me just write this volunteer thing.
These are fun.
Yeah.
I like these.
Yeah, let me take one quick drink. Can I do that? Yeah.
Okay.
All righty.
Okay. Here we go. Okay. Welcome back to Change It Up Radio with Paula Shaw. Here in studio with me today, my sponsor, Cheri Blair of Cheri Blair Financial Services. And we are having so much holiday fun talking about avoiding those holiday blues that come with overspending.
Right.
So just a quick summary. If you were not with us in our last segment, Cheri suggested that you don't use credit cards. Get cash and have an envelope for each person you need to buy for with the amount of money that you have to spend. And when that money is gone, your shopping is done.
That's right.
I like that very much. Another one was giving of your time, going and visiting someone. And along with that, the idea of giving experiences. Cheri shared some ideas with us about someone like giving a cooking class and then taking it with her granddaughter. So I love those. And now, Cheri, we've got a couple more, right?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Well, obviously, there's the idea of charity, right? Mm-hmm. Charity giving. And if you don't, I'll talk a little bit about that. But if you don't have the funds to give to a charity, you can always volunteer your time, right? You can volunteer your time, and that is getting yourself involved and getting active. And there's that whole
reciprocity.
Reciprocity.
Right.
Thank you,
give and
Paul.
you get.
Yeah, there you go. So that you're giving of your time and you're helping others or whatever the cause is that needs the help, and that's so rewarding. So that's
reciprocity.
Reciprocity. There we go.
So when you give, you get.
That's right.
I like those experiences
right.
a lot. And, that ties in a lot with something I was saying earlier, that being of service is one of the best antidotes for not being holiday happy.
I think so. I think that's
sad
wonderful.
Or depressed or whatever right now. Boy, get out there and help somebody.
Absolutely.
Or some
absolutely. Help or I've done this. Take dinner over to people, or take meals over to people, take them some bags of groceries, whatever it is. I mean, they're going to it's going to brighten up their day, their life, and you're going to see so much joy, and that's going to give you so much joy. Totally. But in this charity, it's like I have an example. I wanted to share a couple examples from clients I have that they like to give. They want to, for their grandchildren. They said, my grandchildren have everything. I mean, they have. What more could I give them to put in their closets and things that they don't pay attention to by the time the year rolls around? So they get them involved, and giving to a charity in their name.
Oh, nice.
So it's in your grandchild's name, okay, for instance, or you could be in your daughter, your son's name, or a friend's name, or whatever. Give, and then they get them involved in it. Like if it's giving to whether it's an animal cause or for people or the planet, and they see where the money is going. It's in their name. It's been given in their name. They get to follow the situation, and see that the good and the change that comes about from giving to this cause, this charity.
So important.
And so it's such a wonderful way to experience feeling and doing good and giving back, as you were talking about. And because when you realize that, this speaks to what you were saying, but when you realize that there's so much more, and this is so much bigger than who I am, or what I am, or what even I'm going through right now. But it's just, and it's also setting a wonderful example for children, right? Or anybody. It's just like giving to a cause, a charity, in your child's name, your grandchildren's name, and they can follow how that moves through the people's or the situation's life.
I love that one, and because I think it's so important for our children to learn the joy and the value of giving, and to realize that everybody out there doesn't have everything they have.
Absolutely.
I had a couple of clients who told me one of the most powerful experiences they ever had was going to Mexico, and in one day they built a home.
Oh, absolutely.
This whole group built a home for a family that didn't have one. And the children were just blown away. First of all, they couldn't believe everybody didn't have a nice warm bed and a big house and a bike and all the things that they had, right? And then they got to be part of it, hammered the nails themselves, and be part of that giving. It was very special. So
to me, that would be a wonderful experience to have as a family, and go down and do that with other families or something. I think that's wonderful. Mm-hmm. So the last one I want to share, the fifth one, is something that we use. It's more obvious. It's a traditional gift for kids and families. But I think it's important to mention these. I said for financial planner, but 529 plans, which are used for like college planning education. Oh. So I have grandparents that either open or contribute to their grandchild's or their children's 529 plans. Oh, nice. So for college, it's a way to save for college, or some kind of college planning. Stocks, okay? So if you're really not able to give this year or for whatever reason, but you own some stocks, you can transfer stocks into someone's name. Nice. You can transfer stocks or funds into somebody's name. And that's something, family member, a child, grandchild, and that's something that your planner can help you with. Your planner, your advisor. And then obviously cash, right? But earmark it for something specific.
Good idea.
Okay, something specific.
Good idea.
Like maybe you have someone in your family that wants to buy a car, so you give them so much cash to put towards that car. Let's say you have a child that wants to, or grandchild, somebody that wants to go to a summer camp. So you contribute to their summer camp. So maybe they're doing things to earn some money along the year, but you say, I'm going to make sure, I want to help you go to summer camp. Let me put this towards your summer camp. You see what it's so, and it encourages them to save, the children as well too, and what they're doing. And then one of the other ones is paying down an adult's child's debt, and that would be like putting money towards maybe a college debt that your children or grandchildren might have, or even credit cards. I mean, we're doing that now for my son, Tobiah. We told him that he's gotten into medical school, so he'll be starting in late summer. So we've talked about this, and I think it's important that he doesn't carry debt into this long journey he's going into.
Right.
So I told him for Christmas we're going to pay off all his credit card debt. So.
Wow, that is a great gift.
Yeah.
Now I hope my children aren't listening.
Well, now, I'm not saying.
Mom, Cheri paid off her son's debt. That's a beautiful idea, though. That's a lovely idea.
Yeah. So, can you, you don't have that burden of having credit card, carrying credit card, at least into the new year. So, the bottom line is, I think that don't let your debt become the Scrooge that robs you of fun for your holiday season.
Yes. Or fills you with regret once it's over, right? Because when the bills come and you realize now you've put thousands on that credit card. And you know what else I think happens, Cheri? Sometimes when people go into debt to buy that perfect gift or whatever, now they are invested in seeing if it's really appreciated or really used.
Right.
It's like they can't just walk away. It's like, well, I spent all that money to get her a coffee maker, and I never see her making coffee.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that expectation, that changes. That can change the dynamic of a relationship or have an effect on it, right?
Totally. So it's certainly the energy around
absolutely. So I like to say base your gift buying on sentiment. And not on the dollar value.
Nice. Very nice. And then that way, too, you're buying something that has meaning to you, so there's going to be joy in giving it.
Right.
No matter how it's received, there's joy in giving it. I always try, for years now that, especially when you're the mother and you're buying all the presents for the family and all that. But that has always been one of the things I like best. And I'm going to confess to everybody right here and now, I usually don't shop until a couple of days before Christmas Eve. And the reason is because by then, everybody is sort of in holiday mode. I get more into holiday mode. The stores are all beautiful and all the decorations are out. The music is playing. I just get so much fun out of it that it doesn't matter how the gifts are received. I gave myself that gift.
Right. That's a beautiful thing, Paula. Actually, I do a lot like that myself, and it's usually because I'm busy in my business until I can start having, I have the break or the time, or I create the time for myself. And, it's usually those last several days before Christmas that I'm out, and you're right. The music's playing, everything, everybody's in the festive spirit, so you feel very very joyful, very joyful. And that takes you into the holidays.
Yes.
But, we just don't want to, we want to avoid any overspending, charging up our credit cards, because we don't want a year-in-round debt headache from the holidays.
Absolutely. Cheri, thank you so much for all of these suggestions that you made, and I hope everybody was paying attention, because this can make all the difference in your holiday and all the difference in the coming year, because you won't have that bill arrive the first of the new year saying, oh God, what did
I have
I
to pay
do?
it off, right?
Yeah, now I'm filled with regret. So before we end the show, I also want to mention to everybody, how to reach Cheri. So Cheri, would you give them your phone number and your website?
Sure. You can reach me at 619-997-0416.
And the website?
It's just Cheri Blair, financialservices.com.
And remember, her name is spelled CheriBlair. And one last announcement, since this is the last time Cheri will be with us in this year. Cheri, she's going to be with us in the next year, but she's also launching Bloom with Blair, which is going to be a podcast that she will be doing on her own with all kinds of great guests and financial advice. So stick around, look for that in 2019. We'll be giving you more information when we get into the new year. So thank you for being with us today. Remember, you can hear us on KCBQ, AM 1170 and 96.1 FM on Sunday nights at 9 o'clock. And we're on all the major podcast platforms. Please be sure you check out changeitupradio.com. There's other shows you can listen to. There's information about being a guest or a sponsor. And we would love you to email us, be involved with us. Check out our Facebook page and our Instagram page, all Change It Up Radio. And also, Cheri Blair has a Facebook page, and so do I, Paula Shaw. All right, that's it for today. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
All righty.
Okay, I'm going to have to cut some of that. I hope, yeah.
Cheri, want to say goodbye and happy holidays?
Happy holiday, everyone in Facebook land. Enjoy your holidays, but don't overspend. Bye.